If police in the United States are able to arrest you for praying silently publicly, that is a point where political violence would be the only solution. You disagree? Does that make me an extremist? This country is founded upon your right to pray, by the way, out loud. Speech. Since Donald Trump, and we're going to get into this, these celebrities, right, have been threatening to move. And that's fun. But
Good.
It's a plus.
But this is something, you guys know where this is going. We've actually examined the laws in the countries to which these celebrities are fleeing, and it's far, far worse. So let's set this up, and then we'll go through each country. These celebrities leaving the United States because something Trump won, dystopian. Here you go.
After Donald Trump's victory, thousands of Americans are planning to pack their bags and move abroad.
Bye.
Google search data shows U.S. citizens are actively researching how to move to Canada, New Zealand, and Australia.
Searches like how to move to Europe rose 2,400%. How to move to English-speaking countries was up over 1,300%.
There was a spike in people from the United States looking for work in Canada before election night was even over. And many more apparently woke up the next morning, energized to escape Trump's America.
Energized. All right, let's go through these celebrities.
To hell. I tried to move abroad last night. I killed a hooker in my hotel room.
But you can do it because it's America, and we don't.
That's right, right behind the ice machine.
So, Ellen DeGeneres is the first one. You've heard of this. Ellen DeGeneres and I'm going to say wife, lesbian lover, moved to the Cotswolds in England. So this is what they did. And okay, fine. What's two less lesbians? I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But
I don't know.
We don't. It's the domestic abuse rates went down 2%. A lot of battered lesbians. That's a fact. You can go to battered lesbians.
They're angry bitches.
Yeah, and plus they all.
It's like having Ike married to Ike. These eggs are cold.
Yeah. It's just like fitting. Was it Ray Rice, the guy in the elevator?
Yes.
Just putting two Ray Rices in an elevator.
Yeah.
Yes. Or Spirit Airlines. It's the same thing. So they moved to the UK. Okay, but let's look at the laws in the UK, and the references are available. They're going, this is dystopian here in the United States. We have to get out of here. Okay. Well, I don't know if you know this, but Ellen DeGeneres at one point was a comedian. She had you would think as a performer, freedom of speech would be pretty important. UK, you don't have it. The Malicious Communications Act of 1988, and then there was a Communications Act of 2003. They've criminalized indecent or offensive language.
Oh, come on.
They have a Hate Crime and Public Order Act from 2021. This is Scotland. They criminalize language that could be insulting or is likely to stir up hatred.
Likely?
Yes.
Likely. Jeez. Go put on your kilt and shut the fuck up.
This is why Nick can never travel abroad.
Yeah.
I'm Scottish. I have Scottish in me.
I think you're more Scottish than Italian when the
Irish and Scottish at 1% more than it's very disappointing.
Yeah, no one needs to know.
My wife took that swab while I was sleeping. Right.
From the machine.
So these people are moving to this country. And by the way, I don't know if you know this also as far as reproductive rights. These other countries have national laws that are more stringent on abortion. We'll get to that in a second. Here's some clear examples in the UK where Ellen DeGeneres and her lesbian lover have moved in the name of freedom. In 2022, you had a woman arrested for praying silently outside an abortion clinic.
Is you standing here part of the protest?
No, I'm not protesting.
Are you praying?
I might be praying in my head out loud.
Okay, well then you're under arrest. The council
Holy shit.
failing to comply with the Public Spaces Protection Order, which is under the Antisocial Behaviour Crime and Policing Act 2014.
Oh my God.
Don't know if you know that, but that actually is. And by the way, when people say political violence is never the answer, don't know if you have to dump this on YouTube. If police in the United States are able to arrest you for praying silently publicly, that is a point where political violence would be the only solution. You disagree? Does that make me an extremist? This country is founded upon your right to pray, by the way, out loud. Speech. If in the United States, authorities start arresting people for praying silently, that would be reason for a civil war.
Well, how about for praying out loud? That's my bar.
Yeah. How about, saying anything at that point?
Yeah.
And remember they used to say, you have these crazy radical right-wingers blowing up abortion clinics. You can count on one hand the amount of times that has ever happened. But now you can't even pray silently outside an abortion. They're not even holding up signs of dead babies. The woman is out there praying quietly.
Literally, my mind.
Yeah. In her mind.
Policing your fucking thoughts.
That's
Literally.
exactly right. Literally policing your thoughts. And by the way, in 2024, you had a right-wing activist who was jailed for placing stickers. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, placing swastikas? No. Literally placed stickers that said, reject white guilt. Nationalism is nurture. Diversity designed to fail, built to replace. You may not like it. These are stickers. Someone was arrested for that. Jeez. So this is where they moved, and they think they're more. But even better than that is Eva Longoria, right? I guess has a place in Mexico and in Spain.
Right.
Bodyguards in both.
Yeah. And by the way, it couldn't get any worse if you're saying this is dystopian here in the United States when you go to Mexico. So this is where she's splitting her time. She said this. She said, I get to escape and go somewhere. Most Americans aren't so lucky. They're going to be stuck in this dystopian country, and my anxiety and sadness is for them. Okay. Well, great. You're right. A lot of people can't go to Mexico. Also, people don't. You know who doesn't want to be in Mexico? Mexicans.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Explain that. You dumb.
And a big thing. She's always been the whole like as a Hispanic. Oh, okay. So you have a problem with deporting illegal immigrants. Let's look at Mexico. How do they treat immigrants there? You have Mexican citizens who actually must be through law hired over foreigners.
Oh wow.
Proof of legal status for non-citizens must be given at any time. By the way, foreigners, if you're not a native-born citizen, you actually can't own land within 31 miles of the ocean, Mexico. So in other words, if you are not a native-born, can you imagine here if someone had a brown shade of skin and we said, you can't have a lake house?
Boy, I'd love it.
Hold on. 31 miles? I thought it was
31
like 31
miles.
yards or something like that. Like you couldn't
31 miles.
If that was LA, you'd be at least in you'd be at least in Watts.
There's some nice houses there.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah. There's like one old Polish couple who are like, we're not leaving our neighborhood.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
miles?
31 miles.
That's hilarious.
And you would think that, since she was announcing this to the press, you'd think that freedom of the press would be pretty important too. Well, let's look at Mexico. 36 journalists were murdered during the last president's term.
That's bad.
I don't have a problem with that.
Stop it.
I'm serious. You would be bummed out if 31 CNN and MSNBC fucking people ended up disappearing tomorrow.
My personal sentiments are not relevant here.
It's true.
No, mine are. Listen, this isn't Steven or him talking. I'm just saying, I actually like when Putin sits down with a journalist and the next the guy does a swan dive off the 48th floor of the Marriott. I would love to see Rachel Maddow do a fucking cannonball. What do you mean I'll stop? Jesus Christ.
But this is according to Human Rights Watch. It says police, prosecutors, and soldiers commonly use torture to obtain confessions and engage in other abuses against those who are accused of crimes. The justice system regularly fails to ensure due process. But Eva Longoria will be fine. Let's go to Spain, where she splits her time there. I don't know if you know this, because of the big reproductive right thing here in the States. Let me be really clear. In the United States, when you're talking about the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the law goes to the states, which of course was a gross violation of human rights, even though in California and places like Colorado, you can still abort the baby up until and including birth, right? There's no national mandate. The fear-mongering this last election was he may instate some kind of a national law, a ban on, by the way, at any stage of development. That was considered a bridge too far. Well, in Spain, it's national, 14 weeks.
Oh.
14 weeks, that's their abortion law. Can you imagine if Donald Trump said, all right, we're going to put a limit on abortion 14 weeks, certainly before we get to the third trimester? Eva Longoria would be moving to Spain. Oh, no, it's there.
She's not aware of anything you just mentioned.
She's
not
so
one of these
stupid.
facts.
Yes.
And she made it, by the way, as a pretty white woman in this country.
Yes.
People didn't look at her as Hispanic. She's stunning.
Yeah, she's very pretty.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you know this. You can get away with a lot if you're good looking as a woman.
Really?
It's almost like people don't tell you that you're a moron.
What?
So
Sharon Stone. If she kept her legs crossed, nobody would know who the fuck she was.
it's the perfect distillation.
It is, right?
It's absolutely true.
She's one leg cross away
I
from
know,
being anonymous. Tell me I'm uneducated, you whore.
One leg cross away from being a Twitter egg.
Yeah.
And they don't allow freedom of expression, speech, for example, in Spain. Like it's illegal to show disrespect toward law enforcement. It's actually considered an incitement to violence and it's criminalized to provoke any type of discrimination. And I know you're saying, well, these are laws. How are they in practice? Well, actually, in Spain in 2021, under said law, there was a comedian who was criminally charged with hate crimes for tweeting jokes about women with Down syndrome, faced almost 2 years in jail and actually a 5-year ban from posting on social media. Hey, Hollywood celebrities, pro-freedom, right? Let freedom reign. Where are you with this? Any celebrity, any leftist celebrity who talks about freedom or holds up a peace symbol, actually, I think should be deported at this point in time. You can't hold up a peace symbol and try and be a San Francisco 60s retread in 2024 and oppose the most peaceful president in our lifetime, possibly a century. And you can't talk about freedom and oppose the one man who believes that everyone should be allowed to speak freely. Think about this. Elon Musk, the richest man on earth. Oh, the evil boogeyman.
Yeah.
He bought the platform and made it more free and open. That's what you consider oppression outside of the olfactory system.
Yeah, where the hell did
It's just
that word come from?
The mask is off. Let's go to Canada.
Let's not say we did.
Yes. I think we should take it over. But a lot of people say, well, I'm going to go to Canada. Canada's done, by the way. It's done. It's a failed nation at this point. They, of course, let me say, we have a bunch of people. Do you have the list? Oh, yeah. We have it right here. People who said they would move to Canada threatened it. Lena Dunham, Raven-Symoné, Bryan Cranston, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Whoopi Goldberg. Who's who?
Whoopi.
Of bitches. Bryan Cranston included.
Are they going or no?
I don't know if they're going. They said they would.
Whoopi tried to. They turned away predators at the border. So.
Oh, come on, man. That's racist shit.
No,
Showed up at the border. They
Gerald,
said,
come on.
Boy,
He's a nice colored lady. Come on.
boy, you're one ugly motherfucker, eh?
Child.
Hey, child, I want to come to Canada, but I hear it's cold. Y'all got a park in there? Please leave Canada. I heard you got great beers like moonshine.
What white guy? I can still see how I got infrared.
Looking through the...
Oh, that ugly bitch.
So in Canada, let's look at freedom of speech. Well, in Canada, they even have the Online Harms Act, which, by the way, is being debated right now. But that would actually criminalize
Tweets
any
and
speech
stuff?
online that is likely to foment detestation or vilification. Well, hold on a second. Again, that word it's so broad. It is likely.
Right.
Well, how likely? And what are we detesting? Pedophiles? Are we detesting transitioning minors? Oh, that's the problem that you run into with Canada. A court in Canada can put someone in house arrest if they fear the person may commit a hate crime.
What?
It's Minority Report without the budget.
Yeah.
And by the way, you want to talk about religious freedom in Quebec? There was a bill passed in 2019, I believe, that actually bans public employees from displaying any religious symbols at work at all. Think about that. Here's some examples on practice. This pastor was arrested for holding church services, remember, under COVID lockdown.
I do remember this.
Here's your freedom, Canada.
After receiving new enforcement powers for public gatherings Thursday, Calgary police have arrested Artur and David Pawlowski, two church leaders notorious for organizing against public health measures.
That being said, I wouldn't go with the tiki torches, but the point remains.
It's a bad look.
That, in fairness to the police, he was having those ceremonies in the men's room off the highway.
Yes, exactly. By the way, I don't know if you've had him on your show. Mike Ward is a comedian, a friend of our show here. He was actually put before a human rights tribunal in Quebec and fined, right? And then it eventually got overturned for making jokes about a disabled kid who, by the way, may have not been as disabled as they let on
He was drunk.
this person to be. But either way, this guy made a joke. And he could he was at a point where he could face arrest and certainly put before a tribunal and having to face fines. There's your freedom. You always wonder these actors, you always wonder these performers, and certainly the worst are comedians who say, I'm going to move to Canada, I'm going to move to the UK, where they wouldn't be able to practice their craft the way you can here in the United States. Yesterday, Donald Trump did troll Canada, though. It's pretty effective.
It was.
It was this picture right here. Captioned, "Oh, Canada!"
This guy is a legend.
Off to the left is the American
we don't
flag.
deserve him, as people say.
No, he's not. He's not appreciated enough.
You can't make fun of people in a wheelchair. I do my best material There was a drunk guy in a wheelchair sitting right up front so that everybody could see it, fucking yelling shit out at me. And he goes, hey, didn't you have dark hair last year? I go, didn't you have feelings in your feet last year? And then I got mean. That was, I let him have it like fucking, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, by the way, you can go see nickdip.com for his dates, but I wouldn't advise heckling.
Show up in a wheelchair and heckle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was all cocky and shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's because, you know what, he hasn't had to face accountability. He's been given a free pass. It's that wheelchair privilege.
Yeah. Well, I sliced his tires.
But by the way, there's another one. You have these anti-Trump women, these OnlyFans women and women who are following them, I guess. They're threatening to sterilize themselves after Trump's win. No complaints. No objections, just to be clear.
Me either.
Here's an OnlyFans model who said, for me, it was a call to action. I need to get this locked in so I don't have to live in fear that at any moment some random guy can completely destroy my life. For me, the idea of getting pregnant is worse than death. Let me rephrase that, okay, what she actually means to say. What she's saying here is, for me, the idea of creating life is worse than death. It's a death cult. The left. It is a death cult. I'm doing what I can to protect my right to choose. I am choosing me. By the way, you live in a state where you can still kill your baby. These people are delusional, and I'm willing to bet that most of these people are college educated.
Who are these people?
Nowhere else in the world. If you leave the United States in search of freedom, it is a fool's errand. There's nowhere else to go.
But please go and learn the lesson.
Yes.
Because apparently you haven't learned it already.
That was my next question. What's the under-over on them coming back?
Yeah, of
the
course.
ones that do move.
They'll have a lake house. They'll have a vacation. They'll have a flop
And it
house.
still won't be as good.
I come back every once in a while. Why? For work. The economic benefits of coming back. Oh, you like that?
Oh,
huh?
tired of selling cars in Mexico with your tits?
Not shooting a lot of movies in Winnipeg anymore?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many cool running sequels you can have. Hey, if you like this video, we're probably like-minded, and you may enjoy some more content. You could click that video, watch another one, or tune in weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Because we're the same. You and me. We're kindred spirits.